Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Space. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. On Saturday, January 8th, I hosted my first Just Chatting stream along with some amazing ladies, and we had an open discussion about women in gaming. So this one is a little bit longer, but it's one that you guys can kind of just listen to rather than only watch. We had some really amazing questions from chat and from each other, and it just went really well. So I hope you guys really enjoy this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.
There we go.
Is that it? Okay.
Are you changing the stream title and game? Or do you want me to change Space?
Can you do that for me, please?
Yeah. You got audio included on the starting screen, by the way.
Oh, that's nice. Hi, guys.
Hi.
I promise my next one will go so much better.
It's okay.
I'm still new to Discord and everything too, so it's like I don't know what I'm doing at all.
I usually only like chat, like hype and Discord. I've like never do this side of things either.
It's just a lot of stuff that like to learn all at once. So
Yeah.
it's totally fine and you don't have anything to worry about.
Okay. Are we ready? I think we're ready.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still screen capturing, so we'll stop sharing. Okay, Am, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So I'm Amber, or Amberger, and I have 2 kiddos, and I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I play video games for fun, and I've played video games since I can remember. I was in elementary school, and I had a Game Boy SP, so yeah.
Very nice. Austin, who are you? No.
I'm Austin.
You're still on the starting screen.
Oh, God.
You might have to move the slider again.
My bad, y'all. There we go.
Hey!
Okay. So yeah, Austin, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Hello, I'm Austin Tac 12. I am a variety streamer. I'm a Pisces. I usually our stuff is dubbed like wholesome chaos. I'm not very good at video games, but I like games that I am good at because they're easy. So like I like an easy game, you know.
Awesome. And Kiki.
Hello, I'm Kiki. I'm a new variety streamer. I was just an Apex streamer for over a year, so I am enjoying trying new games, even though straight away I've now got obsessed with DBD. But trying new games, really enjoying it. That's me.
Okay, Tasia.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Incantasia, or Tasia for short. My mind went blank because it likes to do that. I am an Apex variety streamer. I tend to do a lot more Apex than variety, but I am looking to go more variety soon. I've been on a bit of a hiatus due to outside influences, but I am hoping to get back to streaming soon. Yeah.
Okay, and Juju. Or Lucid Queen, sorry.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Lucid Queen, aka Juju. I'm a first-time mama. I'm also a stay-at-home mom. I pretty much game everything, but right now I've been addicted to Dead by Daylight. Um, yeah, that's it. I'm boring.
Hi Goat, hi Earthling, MC, hi, how are you guys? I'm Space. This is my first. Next question is going to be talking about, for the moms, how you manage your time with your children, along with streaming and gaming and your hobbies and your jobs and all of that stuff, if you have jobs.
So definitely a challenge. I mean, obviously, kids come first because they're louder than my computer is. So I pretty much only, so this is like upstairs, so I only come upstairs and get to hang out on my computer in the evenings after everyone goes to bed, or if everyone is napping at the same time. If I'm very, very lucky, I'll come up here. But yeah, and then also, like I said, just kind of shouting out my husband. He definitely makes sure that I have time to step away and come up here and game if I need to. And then I have just like a very strict set streaming schedule. So like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 7 p.m. like I'm clocked out of mom duty totally until 9 p.m. when I'm done streaming. So that's really nice. But yeah, as you know, finding that balance can be a little challenging, especially when they're this small. So my other kid is almost 2. She'll be 2 in March. So they're pretty small. But yeah, you just make it work whenever you can. So.
How about you, Juju?
Yeah, there is no balance for me at all. Like, I stream, game, read, cook, sleep at the same time. It all happens together at once. Yeah, that's the story of my life. I do everything with my daughter. See, with the baby right now. The only time I really get a break is when she's sleeping. So I don't really mind it. She's my little best friend.
That's awesome. She's adorable too. If you guys haven't seen her daughter, she's the most beautiful thing. Big brown eyes.
Hold on. Hold on.
She's so cute.
She's adorable. She's sassy.
She is. She screamed like that because I was sitting down.
So for me, he's just now 3 months old, and I was really nervous because you guys know I took a break for about 6 months, not really by my choice, but I was hoping to get back into streaming before he was born, and that didn't get to happen. And so I was really nervous to get back into streaming with him. I didn't know, if I was going to be able to hear him over my headset, and how I was going to feed him and everything while I'm streaming. And it just kind of, like with everything else with motherhood, it just kind of came really naturally. It's been way easier than I expected it to be. And for my own health, before the baby even, I have to try to stick to some sort of routine. So the mornings are reserved for my coffee, and because you guys know I have like 13 cups a day, and I get any household things done, or just my YouTube stuff now. I do that in the mornings before the stream, and I take care of him during the stream when I need to, and in the evening time it's just, I haven't stuck to my schedule in the evening time lately, but normally it's to spend time with Josh and do dinner and all that stuff, and we watch our shows that we binge together. So I do my best to manage my time, but it is pretty difficult. So let's talk about what you guys feel most men expect from women as gamers and streamers.
I think most men, this is just what I gather from like TikTok and watching male streamers, probably expect all female to play like Sims or Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, there's nothing wrong with those games. I play those games. Those are quality, fun games. But I think that's like where it stops. And like, don't play anything else. Or like, if you do, it's on easy mode or whatever. And again, nothing wrong. That's how I play my games because it's an enjoyable thing. I'm not trying to like die the whole time I play Assassin's Creed. But I think it's just kind of like there, and I don't think of it as real gaming, even though that is real gaming because you're playing video games. So that's kind of like what I gather is expected, and just from my own experiences, my first game that I remember playing is Ruby version, Pokemon Ruby version, and I would play it in elementary school before school, and I was like the only girl playing it, and none of the guys wanted me to sit with them at their table while they also played their Pokemon. So it's fine, you know. Here we're thriving now. We're all hanging out, all of us girls. So that's kind of what I gather is expected of us.
I got a lot to say about this.
I'm ready.
It has not, thankfully, been my experience upon joining the Twitch-averse. I never really played games when I was young. I didn't have any consoles or anything. We didn't have a computer till I was like 13. Doesn't matter. The community that I have been welcomed into has never, ever made me feel bad about anything, which is wonderful. But I've seen people, men, think that, again, like Amber said, that girls, and I'm using girls loosely, they play girl games like The Sims or Stardew Valley, cute games that aren't hard, games that don't take any skill, which, I mean, they're not super skillful games, you know, and that's fine. And then there's the side that will see a girl playing Call of Duty, ew, and being like, oh, you're a girl, that's so cool. Or, oh, you're a girl and you're good at this, but you better be the best ever or else I'm not going to accept you. Or, you're playing on easy mode because that's all you can do because you're a girl. Or, why are you playing this? You're a girl, this is a boy game. Or, why are your tits out? Because your tits need to be out. Or, get your tits out. Like, what do you want? Do you want her tits or not her tits? Make up your mind. I'm assuming I can say tits, Spacey, because you swear a lot.
Yes.
There's so many different, like, flip-flopping, contradictory opinions from men towards women in gaming. And it's so confusing and pointless. Be bad at a game with your tits out, sucking on a microphone. Live your life, girl.
Oh my god.
You don't want to do anything like that? Live your life, girl. Like, who cares? Like, just play what you want, do what you want, play on easy mode, play on hard mode, play with all the boys, whatever. But then, you also have the thing where, like, if you have a girl that's good at a boy game, sorry I keep using quotes so much, you have a good at a boy game, like Call of Duty, then the guys that will accept this girl will be like, oh, well, because you're not like those other girls, and we want you because you're so cool, and we want you, and if you ever do anything that's too girly, we're not going to like you anymore. So then it's kind of like putting this girl on a pedestal, and if she wants to be friends with other girls or do something else that's girly or whatever, she's like shunned then. And I've seen all of this shit. I've seen all this shit from different things in like in the media or whatever. Again, it's not been my experience, thankfully, but like it's so frustrating to see it everywhere else. And I'm very thankful it doesn't happen to me because no, but like, why can't everyone just like what they want to do? Like, why? Like, why are you so mad? That's my question. And I think it's because I've never had a person in my life like that was gatekeeping or anything, and I've never been like that, so it's really hard for me to understand. I'm sure it's hard for many of us to understand, but like, just do what you want to do. Just do what you want to do. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, so I agree with everything that these guys have said, but my personal experience has luckily been really nice. And starting off streaming Apex, which is a traditional guys game, everyone was just so nice and welcoming. I had people, so I started playing Apex when I started streaming, so I had zero experience playing this game, so I was terrible. But guys and girls would come in with more experience than me. They would offer help if I wanted it. They offered to play with me, and guys, girls, everyone has been so welcoming. And talking about the Apex community, there are a lot of high-level Apex ladies, and the community as a whole does have to do better with allowing for girls to get into like the high-level tournaments. But there are so many orgs now that like are pushing for women in Apex to get their names out there, to help them grow. So like I don't know, Space, you're an Apex player. I don't know what your experience has been like with Apex, but I've had a really positive, like great experience with Apex and the community, both, like I said, both guys and girls. But what these two have said before is so true. Some guys are like, oh, you're taking off views because you got your boobs out, and other ones are like, or expect you to play like girly games. But I'm just really thankful that I haven't experienced that myself. It sucks that it does exist and it does happen to people. It happens to people that I know. And it's really hard. It's like, how can you change these things? Because you've got the people that are trying to work at being better now, but then you'll just have more waves of people like that have got those ideas in their head already, and they're going to start it again. It's just going to be a constant battle to fight this, and people should play what they want, do what they want. When the hot tub meta was out, there were so many people that were angry about that. And like, oh, these hot tubs people, they're streaming my views, they're stealing your views, my views, but I'm pretty sure they're not. And if people want to watch people in hot tubs, like, they can watch that too. There's nothing wrong with somebody doing it, and there's nothing wrong with somebody watching it. I used to love an Amaranth hot tub stream personally. I learned a lot from her chat and how not to act. It was a good time. Yes, that's me.
And Tasia, how about you?
I've both seen and just like, I haven't had anything specific or like super specific happen to me, thankfully, especially like during my streams or whatnot. I have been able to find some really amazing people through streaming, but I've seen this happen to other streamers where they just get treated like a piece of meat. They've had people come into their chat and literally describe them as like a piece of meat, as being there for their pleasure. And it was really upsetting to see that. Luckily, she has an amazing husband and some mods and whatnot. The person whose chat I saw this in, who took it down really quickly, and she handles it really well. But from what I've seen, a lot of men just expect us to have our cams on or turn them off, or kind of what has been said is there's a lot of both sides to have our boobs out or not, and all of this, it's not a clear thing, because as soon as you do one thing, they're telling you to do the other. And I think a lot of men also want, because you're gaming, they don't expect you to be good at it. And if you are good at it, they're going to claim that you're cheating or getting boosted or all of this stuff, that you can't reach those higher levels in Apex or in ranking or whatever game it is, and that you must be boosted, you must have somebody else helping you in order to be reaching those levels, because you're a girl, so you definitely couldn't be doing it yourself. And it's insane to see that just because of our gender, just because of how we identify, means we can't play, can't pick up a controller, can't use our mouse and keyboard and do just the same thing that they have been doing themselves. And I just see a lot of men trying to use women as well, and think that they can just do whatever they want and treat women however they want, and that is just fine, when it really isn't. there's a lot of toxic culture out there that I've both seen and experienced, and it's sad to be honest. But yeah, that's kind of my experience in all this.
Okay, Juju, have you had any experiences with this before?
I've had hella experience. Not being skinny enough. Not being pretty enough.
Oh,
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep. Not being all dressed up and dolled up like all the other streamers. Not sounding girly enough. Not being short enough. Not being tall enough. Not being good enough. Or being too good that my daddy's playing for me because I'm trash, I'm a dyke, I'm a slut, I'm a whore, they fucked my mom. Should I keep going? Like, there's so much these men have done to me. Like, do you know how many hate messages I get that I'm a stupid dyke? That I'm fat, I'm sloppy, I will never be loved. I've even got death threats for my child. Yeah. The community sucks ass for me. All right.
For me, I feel like a lot of men expect us to play damsel in distress, especially when it comes to first-person shooters. I haven't experienced it too much. I'm lucky to have a lot of guy friends that I game with that aren't toxic. I've had slight instances with people flirting with me and everything, even though they know that, like, I'm not available, even when I tell them I'm not available. Like, that can get really frustrating. Because I'm here to game, just like everybody else. You know, I'm not here, it's not a dating site for me or any of that stuff, you know. I've seen it more with just stories that other women have told me about. And with streaming, I don't stream with a cam. And so when I first started streaming, it was literally like within the first month, I had this guy that I was just actually kind of talking about, who I met on a game and flirts with me and all this stuff. And he came into my chat and said that I need to have a cam so I can show myself off so I'll actually get viewers. Because I think I had like one viewer at the time. And I, new streamer, I didn't know how to react to that. I didn't know what to say or do or anything, but I mean, obviously in my head, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is not cool. This is not what I'm here for. This is not porn for me. Like, it was really strange, and I just didn't know how to react to that. And that's not what I want my stream to be. And like you guys said, if that's what you want your stream to be, that's fine. But for me personally, I don't do that. I also heard stories. I didn't experience it, but I heard stories of other girls being toxic towards women. One particular story was this girl was gaming with her boyfriend and with other girls all in the same party, the same game and stuff, and she was just getting mad, I guess. I don't know exactly what the girl was doing, but she was getting mad at these other girls because in her head they were flirting and this, that, and the other, and she ended up blocking all of them on her account and his account and getting mad at him and just being really jealous. And I think that's odd. Like, for me, at first, it was hard to find girl gamers. I think a lot of us keep our mics turned off because we don't know what to expect. It might be something toxic, from all the stories that we hear. And like for Apex, for example, I actually just recently made a new friend on there from a random squad. And she was a girl, and she used her mic first. And I was like, oh my God, I felt more comfortable to actually use my mic, because when I'm not in a party, I don't talk for that reason. And I was like, oh, heck yeah. And actually the guy ended up starting using his mic too, and he was really cool. And that was a really cool, positive experience for me. I thought, I think I tweeted about it, like I made a new friend. Like, I was super excited. Yeah, that was really cool though.
Can I actually go back to like the cam thing too?
Yes.
Because when I first started streaming, I didn't have a camera. I had like a donation goal up for it, and I got the donation for it, and I was like petrified to turn the camera on, because when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not some hot girl with her boobs out, which again, she's fine. I love her. You know, so I was like afraid that I had a little core group of people. I was playing Raid Shadow Legends, and I had this core group of people that were consistently coming to my streams to watch me play Raid. I was like, if I turn my camera on, they're all gonna think I'm ugly and leave. And regardless of if that's what they thought and if that would happen, the fact that I thought that, and I thought that was gonna happen because now I got the money to buy this camera, and if I turn the camera on now, everyone's gonna leave. And I think a lot of people feel that way because we don't feel that we're the level of attractiveness that's required by the masses to be deemed acceptable to watch. And like, I mean, obviously I'm the hottest thing ever, you know, but like you still don't feel that way, and you still feel that people aren't going to watch you because of that. And when you don't have your camera on, and then if you do turn it on once, or if you don't have it on all the time, it's frightening. Or if you get a raid from a random person and maybe they're going to come in and like horribly, like Juju said, like they're going to come in and they're just going to be like, oh, you're fat, you're ugly, you know, like. And again, that's not happened to me, which I think it's horrible that happens to you, Juju, but there's still that fear, and I think the fear is elevated when you are a woman, or, you know, even a person of color or a trans person, you know, the fear of having people come in and attack you for what you look like when you can't help that. So like, that's just really scary. So I just wanted to add on to that, like what you were saying, Spacey, about the camera.
Yeah, like
agree
I
with
just.
you.
Oh, go ahead, Anne.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh,
I was just gonna. I agree with you completely. So I started with a cam from the start because I knew that I wanted to do that, and there were so many times before I was on like a solid schedule, and I was kind of just like streaming when I wanted to, or like between these days, I'd be like, oh well, I can't stream tonight because I didn't straighten my hair. I don't have any clean whatever clothes that, you know, all I have on is this old sweatshirt, so I can't stream, or, you know, whatever. And it's hard to get past that in your head mentally, because, you know, you don't want someone, or I wasn't scared of someone saying something, I guess, but I was scared of someone who had been coming to my stream all of a sudden not coming because I didn't have makeup on, or I wasn't wearing something they, you know, whatever. So yeah, I completely relate to that. And like I said, never happened to me, but it's just up there in my head of like, well, what if it does happen? So.
okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, like I just said in chat a minute ago, that's partially why I don't have my video on now. I'm like, okay, my house is a mess. I haven't really had time to take care of it. I look like a mess. I've got actually a maternity shirt on right now that's way too big on me now, and my hair's up in a bun, and my face isn't done or any of that stuff, which I don't do makeup that often anyways, but I'm like, okay, I'm on a camera, you know, like I have to present myself like a person, you know. I don't know, but it's really intimidating to be seen. I think a lot of your background kind of goes into it, at least for me it does, because, you know, I grew up not having a good body image and stuff because of everything that I went through. I didn't think that I was pretty or any of that stuff, you know, and so it's like, it's really intimidating and it's really scary. I do plan eventually, once I get a PC, to start streaming with a cam, though. I'm just gonna get over the fear and just go for it, because I think it will add a lot more connection with the viewers and stuff during my stream. And I think there's times where I'm like, oh, I wish I had a cam so they could have seen my facial expressions and stuff like that. And then there's that little voice in your back of your head, and you're like, wait, no, I look like shit. Like, I don't want people to. My next question that I had on here was like, what kind of interactions you've had. We've kind of talked more about the ugly interactions and the things that we've heard from other people, but I would like to take a minute and talk about the good interactions that we've had.
Yeah, I've had way more positive interactions than negative interactions, which I feel extremely thankful to report. And just made a lot of good friends. There's one streamer in particular, I hang out in her stream a lot, and I was really intimidated to talk in her stream for a long time, so I lurked for like a month. And eventually I just started being more consistent and talked in her stream, and we pretty much all each other's streams like every day, and I think that we're all kind of like close. And it's just nice to have other females that play games that support each other no matter every day, and you know, can kind of bolster each other up based on that. And yeah, it's been really great. And even being included in those communities to find guys that are also playing that aren't jerks, and it's like, wow, those exist too. It's just refreshing, because I think a lot of times we do focus on, well, guys that game aren't gonna like me, and that like point blank, but that's not always true. And so to be able to hang out with just anybody, it's been really, really refreshing to have way more of those positive experiences than the negative ones.
Yeah, I've definitely, thankfully, had way more positive, uplifting experiences than bad ones. Back to like talking about when I first started doing Raid Shadow Legends, not sponsored, and I didn't have a camera. I remember Tycoons, he was one of the first people that came in to like hang out with me, and he was one of the core little group that was there even before my camera, and he's still in my life. You know, I still talk to him every day. He's one of, you know, I consider my best friends on here. And I think about that all the time, is like how he's been here the whole time, you know, from when I was really horrible at everything and didn't have, you know, had a horrible mic and no camera and a horrible setup, and he's still here. And I think that's kind of the core like value that I love the most, is that this community aspect of all of this is the best part. Like I remember so many, I don't remember meeting everybody obviously, but like there's just these little moments that I remember like meeting this, like I remember when I met Copia, like I just remember these very specific moments when I've met people, and like that was a good thing. And it's still, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Every moment is great, and I'm just happy. I love it here.
Kiki, how about you?
So the positive has definitely outweighed the negative. Even if somebody comes into my stream for the first time and tries to be mean or like say a horrible comment, my mods generally won't ban them straight away, because I want to talk to these people and say, but why would you say something like that? You don't know me. And there was one guy, so I posted a TikTok video of something that I thought was really good in Apex, and the comments I got were like ridiculous. So people are so mean on TikTok. But one person came into my stream and started off saying, oh, I came here because your TikTok was so bad and I wanted to see how you are in stream. And I was like, well, what you don't know about me is I've been playing Apex for like 4 months. I've never played an FPS before, and I'm trying my best. And they were like, they apologized, and then they stayed, and then they were really nice and like were trying to like help and said, you're not that bad, and I shouldn't have put what I said on your TikTok. Thanks for like not banning me. And I was like, well, you're welcome. Don't do it again. Don't do it to other people. And I try really hard with everybody that comes in, and depending on what the comment is, I will always try and give people a chance. And in some cases, there have been times where people have stayed and like apologized for what they've said, and like turned out to be really nice people, or at least for that day, and then just never come back. But I try really hard to talk to people, like try and make them understand a bit about myself, because they're seeing a video, like a short clip, 20-second clip for the first time. They don't know me. They don't know like the people that are in my stream, like my friends, and they realize that we're nice people and that are generally pretty accepting. So that has been working for me. But yeah, the positives definitely outweigh the negative, and I'm really thankful and really lucky that I don't have many mean people coming into my stream. Thanks, guys.
Tasia.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah, at least in the public, I cannot speak today. In the like public sphere, like streaming and on social media and whatnot, I've had I think almost only positive experiences. Thankfully I haven't had any that I can think of. I've only had to deal with bots in my chat and whatnot. I haven't had to deal with anybody being super rude or toxic or anything. But it's been more in like private aspect that I've experienced personally, some of the toxicity and just the negative aspects. Which part of that was just me getting myself into bad situations, but yeah, thankfully I have had really positive experiences. I actually have several really good friends who are also male, and that I've made through streaming and through gaming and whatnot. And we talked about this before, Space, how it's just nice to be able to have just a guy friend, because a lot of times either a guy is trying to flirt with you or the guy just is being toxic to you. And it's nice to just be able to just chill and have fun with somebody who's not of the same gender. And so it's been really positive and uplifting to be able to have those people and have those guys to talk with, and especially when I'm confused about certain things, just to get a different perspective. And I've been very grateful for those positive interactions that I've had. In fact, Copia was one of my biggest supporters and biggest pushers for me to start streaming. And so I've been very grateful for that. Without him, I wouldn't have met half of this community. And also, one of the big streamers that led me into this community in the first place is also male, and I found Kiki through him and whatnot. So I've been able to have a lot of positive experiences here on Twitch and just in gaming in general, with people that I've gotten to know. The randoms on Apex tend to be a little bit more toxic, but in general, with people that I actually interact with, I've had positive experiences.
Juju, have you had any positive experiences that you want to talk about?
Yes, ma'am. You're my positive experience.
Aw.
Yes, Space is I think my favorite of all time, because I don't really have any female friends because, most of them are backstabbing bitches. But, Space was the realest person I've ever met in my life. And shout out to Wes, because he's the reason I even met her. He is the reason I am allowed to have Space in my life. Those two are the realest people I've ever met, and the most genuine and honest and loving. Like, I wouldn't trade those two for nothing. Like, I am glad I started playing the games that I've played, because I would have never have met them. And those two are my life. I love you, Space.
I love you too. You made me cry, asshole. I've had, like I said earlier, a lot of really positive experiences with streaming and gaming. Like, I've had some negative experiences, but like we've all said, the positive outweighs the negative for sure. And I have to kind of agree with Juju. Like, Wes is probably my biggest positive experience. Like, he's literally my best friend. Like, I've known him for over 3 years now. And at first it was like I didn't know him very well, and he got me the battle pass on Apex, and I was like, is he flirting with me? Like, is this him flirting with me? Like, I know he has a wife, but like, is he flirting with me? And it took a few months, but he's really supportive in any way, like when it comes to my gaming and especially my streaming and now my YouTube. He gives me a lot of feedback, and we talk every single day. And when we don't talk every day, it's like it feels weird. It feels really weird.
Right.
He's, like I said, probably the biggest, like, what's the word? He's encouraged me the most at the beginning. Like, he's the one that talked me into streaming after pushing me for months. And, yeah, And then
Right.
with
If you
you
don't
guys,
got you a West, get you one.
huh?
I say if you don't got you a West, get you one.
But yeah, I've had a lot of good experiences with people in chat too, and I'm really grateful to have met all the amazing people that I have met. You guys are seriously like the best. I feel very welcomed and everything, and it's nice to feel welcomed. So we're gonna get off the subject a little bit. So when it comes to video games, do you guys feel that there is enough representation or appropriate representation of female characters in gaming and video games and stuff?
I think we are trending towards getting to an acceptable amount of representation. But I would say we're kind of just starting trending towards it. I would say in the past, probably not. I don't think that having a female in the game is enough. I think there needs to be more kinds of females. I don't think it's enough to just be like, all right, here's a girl in the game. Okay, well, what does she do? Like, is she an NPC? Is she saving the day? Is she a mom? Is she something else? You know, like, I don't know. I don't think that there's enough right now. And I hope that in the future, with more women working in gaming, we do get that representation and just a broader spectrum of real life people in games instead of like a flat version of girls being in games. There's something. What's that game? Horizon Zero Dawn. Is that the name of it? And the character is Aloy. Is this the game?
Not sure.
Am I talking about the right game? Anyways, they put out I forget the company that works on it. They put out a photo of the protagonist as female, and people were like, they made her look so manly or something like that. And the game is set like in a post-apocalyptic world, and it's like, well, she probably doesn't have access to like a blow dryer and a curling iron and makeup, and people were like genuinely upset that this female character didn't look right. And it's like, well, you know, she's fighting, you know, robotic saber-toothed tigers, so I think she looks pretty great. So more of that character. I think the game is Horizon Zero Dawn. I've never played that game before, but I saw it. There was like a big thing on Twitter a few months ago, and I was like, yes, we need more of her. She made people mad, and in a good way. We need more of her.
I agree. I don't know what that game is. I don't know what you're talking about, but I can totally see people being mad at a female presenting character who didn't look female enough. And I think there definitely needs to be more representation of, also, like you said, Amber, all kinds of women. You know, I'm sick personally of, and I don't really play a lot of these games that I'm even thinking of, like any of these games, but like all the women are perfectly hourglass shaped, with, even if they don't have makeup on, they're still shaped beautifully and they look perfect, which I know it's a video game, but like, where are my fat bitches? Okay, like, I get it. If I was in the apocalypse, I wouldn't survive. I wouldn't be there because I'm not running anywhere. I'm not running from Pinhead guy from Hellraiser and Dead by Daylight. I'm not doing that. But some people might. Some fat ladies might. You know, that's just me. So I would love to see, you know, bigger women. I would love to see women that aren't so beautiful. I would love to see dirty, gritty women. I'd love to see more trans women, more, you know, black women, more disabled women, more all kinds of women in the games themselves and in the game development, the game design, all that stuff too. So I do think we're very slowly on the right track. But I think why aren't we further in? And that's with any media too, movies and TV, you know, not just games. I think games could do it the easiest, considering these are fake people. But, you know, even The Sims, like, the fat Sims look weird, okay? Why? The skinny Sims look weird. Why? So yes, I think we need to keep going.
Yeah, I definitely think there needs to be more representation across video games of not just women, but all sorts of people. But yes, women too. Zev asked in your chat, do we feel like Apex is doing a good job? I was going to bring up Apex and say, can Apex have a really wide range of characters? They have people from all different ethnic backgrounds. They have paraplegic characters. They have gay characters, bisexual characters, so they're doing a good job. And they only release a character once every couple of seasons. So you would hope that they get better and more inclusive as they go, seeing as they've already done quite a good job with where they're at. But 100% there should be more representation of all body types, different backgrounds, all sorts of things in gaming for sure. And it would be nice to see that, like, more and more. But then I guess as well, you can't just bang out a new character. These things take time. These characters could be on the books, we don't know. You just have to wait and see if they're going to come out, and if they're not slated in, they should definitely be. So I hope that in the future we do start seeing it more, for sure.
I agree. I think a lot of things are headed the right way. I think that there needs to be more in the mainstream, because I think there's a lot of like indie projects and whatnot that are going on that are pushing for that. But the big mainstream games that get all the hype and all the attention, those still need a little bit of help and still need to keep pushing for that. I do think Apex is doing a rather good job. It's one of the reasons Respawn's push for diversity and inclusivity is one that I have quite honestly admired. To be able to see so many female legends is something that I quite enjoy. Even whether I play a female legend or not, being able to see that diversity and not just have a whole list of male legends and then having, one or two token female legends is something that I quite enjoy, and I think is very positive from that side. One of my, I already touched on it, but Hellblade is one of my biggest games that I've played with a female protagonist, and I loved that not only because it was telling it from her side of the story and was telling her story, but it was also touching on mental health, and just like we talked about before, sorry, words are escaping me. But showing all types of women. So showing the nitty gritty of mental health. Showing the nitty gritty of whatever women are experiencing, and what are all these different stories that women are going through. And I think, yeah, we are trending in a positive manner, but there's still so much more that we can do. Because it's not just the game developers who need to first put out that kind of content, but we also need to work on the community's reception of such content, so that it isn't immediately turned sexualized or anything like that, like the controversy with Loba and whatnot in Apex. How there's so many in the community that sexualize her and what she wears or her body and whatnot, but the developers themselves have just put out a fantastic character and have put out a culturally appropriate character, but it's then taken by the community and warped and shaped, so it's made to seem like it's something that was intentionally wrong or sexualized, and I think that's a big step that we need to change as well.
I agree with what she's talking about, but I didn't see anything about Loba. I've seen something about Wraith taking one of her portals and, you know. So I completely get with the sexualizing thing, and I am guilty. I will admit to that. I sexualize Loba all the time. She is my future wife. Just saying. But it is true. Everybody sexualizes the female characters in any game. In any game that there is, the female character is an object of pleasure to the guy players or the guy viewers. We are not there because we are great gamers, or they weren't created for women to actually be able to be a female character. No, we are there so that the men could get off on it and enjoy looking at a woman, but we are doing better. I will say that the community is doing better with putting more females out there, but there is a lot of sexualizing to the female characters that are out there.
I think too the difference between because I think we all can be attracted to characters thinking they're hot and sexy and be like, oh yeah, okay, there's a difference between that and only seeing them that way, only seeing the characters as something to drool over, or as you said, get off to. There's a difference between that and also respecting them and liking them. You can think they're all hot and sexy and you don't want to marry everybody. That's great. But you also can't just think of them that way. And I think that's the difference between people that do that and then people that just what you just said, she gonna be your wife, that's fine. But still I don't know, respect or something. I don't know.
Right. I still love Loba and the character that she is, I find her character very interesting, and I love how she's like a thief and she's so badass about it, she'll tell you to your face, yep, I took it, what are you gonna do about it? I love how they portrayed her. It's not just her looks, because her personality is life. That is me. That is what?
I think that's the key, though, is that the way you think about her is in a positive way. She I don't know. I don't play Apex. I don't know who this person is, but she sounds pretty freaking cool. I also would like to marry her. Now, just based off of everyone's description. But I think that's the key there. Is that you're not you don't just want to marry her because of whatever, some very flat reason. I think it's okay to idolize those characters in that way. You know what I mean? I think that's the key. And Zev, in chat, brought up a really good question. Do we need to include orientation in games? I think I personally think it's not that important information to know. I think that it's really easy to be it's a video game. We don't need to know that, right? I think it's very easy to fall into that thought process, but until those orientations that aren't as respected as other you know what I mean? Until it's accepted everywhere, I think it is important to bring them into games. Because for some people it's not normal to not be attracted to a certain kind of person, or why don't you like the same people that I like? Why do you like those people that you like? That's not normal. Until everyone can just accept that you like who you like, I think it is important to bring that into gaming so that it just becomes the norm. And then we can get to the point where maybe we don't need to bring it into gaming because it's just normal. And you can like whoever you like.
I think as a queer person, it's really important for me to know that this character is also queer, because it makes me identify more with them. It makes me want to know more about them. And I think, I've talked about this a lot, and I know I really hammer this hard, but straight heteronormative culture is so shoved down our throats every second. I mean, little baby onesies saying lady killer or whatever.
Can we all just
stuff.
agree that that's really fucking creepy? I told everybody for the baby shower, I was like, if you get anything ladies man, I'm throwing it the fuck away. I'm not putting that on my child.
If you put that onesie on your baby girl, everyone would be like, ew, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I think it's super important for orientation to be, it doesn't have to be the forefront, especially a game like Apex where it's not a story game. I think, I don't really know. You're shooting each other and there's background and everything, but it's not required information. It doesn't really further your gameplay, but it would be important for some little gay kid to be like, holy crap, this character is gay, I'm gay. Oh, so I think it's super duper important
I completely
for
agree with that.
orientation
Yeah.
to be discussed.
Especially,
Can I
you know.
just say-
Oh, go ahead, Kiki.
Oh no, you go, Space. You go.
Okay. I was just saying, especially like we're all almost the same generation and stuff, and I never saw anything with any kind of person except straight people growing up, you know, whether it be video games or movies or books or anything. I never saw any of that stuff. And so as a teenager, like you start hearing more things, hi 3 dinners. You hear more and more about like gay people and stuff. I mean, at first for me, it was like as a derogative word, you know, like it was an insult for people. But I think it is very important for those that are anything, you know, whether it be trans or gay or, you know, a lesbian, whatever, you know, like I think it's really important for them to see somebody badass doing really cool things, because you don't get that pretty much anywhere else. And I don't want to go dark, so we're not going to stay on the topic too long. But my 15-year-old cousin killed himself because he was gay, or he felt like he was, and he didn't want to tell anybody. He didn't want to tell his dad. He didn't feel like, because his dad was in the military and everything, you know. And I feel like for kids like him, it would be really important. It might not be important for a particular video game, but I think the representation itself is extremely important for people like that.
For sure. And I was going to say Apex actually, I think, do a really good job in not just that side of the background, but so Apex do have a comic that comes out with each season. So it gives the characters more backstory, but they've also given them personalities. So somebody like Loba, who is like quite a sexualized character, she has a sort of personality that she's okay with that, and she owns it, and she's confident. But they've also put in other like female characters, like looking at the female characters, they've put in other characters that have completely different types of personalities that wouldn't be okay with people being like that over them. And I think that as well is quite a good thing, because it says you can be confident and sexy and do whatever you want, and you can like not like that, and that is okay too. So I actually Apex do a really good job, I think.
Cool.
I think so
I
too.
agree with that. I like how Apex tackles it. I think it's not something that they push to the forefront or anything, but I love Apex because it has that background lore, and so they can explore different orientations, different identities, and all that kind of stuff. I think for a game like, I don't know, Fortnite, where they don't have that lore background and it's just a shooter, at least from what I understand. If that's wrong, I apologize. That doesn't quite make sense, and so it wouldn't be important there. It would be very forced if they started saying, you know, such and such character is this way or that way. But I do think it is important to be able to provide that opportunity for, especially the younger generation, to have somebody that they can identify with, because I use gaming as an escape, and so being able to find that comfort in a game is something really important to me, which is one reason that I fell in love with Hellblade, because it fights that stigma on mental health, which is something that I struggle with. And so I'm able to find that commonality and be able to find comfort in it. And so, but that's also me as a straight white woman. But I know that there's a lot of people who look to have more representation for whatever they identify as, or whatever their race or gender, whatever it is. They deserve that representation too. And I think that is an important thing. It doesn't need to be forced. It doesn't need to be pushed to the forefront. But I think that having that, if it fits into, you know, the lore, if it fits into the game style, then I think it should be there.
Yeah,
I agree.
well said.
I want to cover a little bit that we didn't talk about when I messaged you guys about this stream. Because originally, the original idea for the stream was talking about mainly just how I manage my time with my baby and stuff, and being a streamer and stuff. So I want to talk about mom representation in video games. and it's pretty much non-existent. Honestly, the only thing that comes to my mind personally is, yes, Zev, ask away. I lost my train of thought. What's it called? Fallout 4. So you can choose a female character or a male character, but either way, you know, the beginning of the story is like trying to find your kid, right? Your son. And that's the only game that comes to mind as far as a mom. There was that one about the gods or whatever, and it's him and his little boy, like son or whatever. I can't remember what it's called. And that's a dad, you know, but I would like to see more moms in gaming, not just in video games as a character, but like to hear more about moms that stream and moms that game and stuff like that. So if you guys have anything to say, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that was the first, whenever you started talking about that, I was really like, oh my gosh, Fallout 4. But like, I think that's like the only one. And I mean, the whole story is around you, I guess in that case, being a parent more generally, but you can be a mom if you would like to be in that game. But yeah, like I can't think of any other one where you are the mom. There's a indie game called A Short Hike, and it's really fun. Everyone should check it out. It's very relaxing, very chill. And the story ends, I won't spoil it too much, but the story ends up being about your mom in that game, the character's mom, but that's like it. Yeah, I wish that there were more, because I think that it would widen up the view that society has about moms and what they do and what they can do. I think a lot of people think moms have babies and then they take care of babies and that's it. And that's just not the truth at all. I think we all know, I think all of our own moms did a lot more than that. And as we become moms or parents, we know that we do a lot more than that as well. So yeah, I would love to see some more and some more representation. Also for young people who are entering parenthood or motherhood to know what it's like, because I think also we can agree there's a lot you don't know when you start having kids about what that's like, and a lot you kind of have to figure out on your own, or you have to seek out information very deliberately to know about it, and that sucks.
Yeah, I think a lot of things with moms is just not talked about. Like, I know I did a lot of research because I was really nervous and everything before I became a mom. Well, while I was pregnant. But yeah, I think just outside of gaming even, like, it's not talked about. Like, nothing's talked about. And you're so clueless and you feel helpless and you feel like you're failing. And, you know, it's for me, it was way easier than I was expecting, because I always heard bad things like, oh, wait till this, wait till that, you know, oh, you enjoy it now, but wait till this. Like, I've enjoyed the good and the bad. I mean, I do wish that I had like soaked up the newborn stage a little more with him, but it was so stressful because I was trying to figure it all out because I didn't know what to do, you know. But no, I think within gaming, I think it needs to be a thing. I think it needs to be more highlighted, like moms that work in the video game industry, like you said, more women are working to make games and stuff. They're included in that more. And I think especially in video games as characters, because I don't think I've seen that like at all. Go ahead, Austin. Sorry.
No, please don't be sorry, because I'm not a mom. I don't ever plan to be. I was just trying to think of games where I like even saw a mom in the game. And again, I don't play that many games, but like Stardew Valley has some moms. They're all kind of dysfunctional. And then I was thinking the game that came to me, Maintaining Mediocrity, who's Audrey. She played a game on stream a couple of months ago. Don't remember what it's called, but like you were this bobcat mom and you had 4 little baby bobcats and you had to just like survive and like take care of them. And some of them could die. Like they could die. And then you only have 3 little bobcat babies. And then eventually they grow up and they leave you. And then you're all alone. And I don't care if I'm spoiling the game because it's very sad and I don't want anyone to play it ever again because I don't ever want to have to watch it again. It might be Shelter. Yeah, I think it's Shelter. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking something else. I don't know. But the babies leave you and then you literally like go back to your cave and you die. and and then you start over again, like as one of the babies, and then you like the same thing. You like become a mom again. You kind of like, so it's kind of like a very, very short game, but it like made me really sad thinking about like, oh my gosh, these moms, they have their babies and they grow up and they all leave. So like, okay, that's all.
So I haven't played that many games, and off the top of my head, I can't think of any where mums are at the forefront of the games. I think Horizon is a mum in Apex, but even with that, I'm not entirely sure. So there 100% needs to be more games where mums are like the main characters. Parents, I don't even know how many games have dads as main characters either. So I don't know. Definitely haven't seen it, and I'd like to. I don't want to play the game that Austin has just talked about, but I definitely want to see them.
They're cute
For
little
sure.
bobcats, but it was very, very sad.
I
Tasia.
also agree that
Sorry.
there should be more representation for parents, or just even acceptance of parents streaming, to be able to connect with other parents, or just even just talk with other people and just realize that there is a lot more that goes into it. I am not a mother, I am not a parent, but I have had experiences where I've been put into those kinds of positions, and so my insight is a little bit different on that. But yeah, I do agree that there's so much more that goes into parenting. There's so much more that goes into to all this kind of things, that more representation would be a good thing. Whether it's through gaming or just being more accepting of sorry, my brain is not working today. I don't know what I was gonna say. But yeah, I think more representation is a good thing, and being more accepting of parent streaming, if that's what they choose to do, and not suddenly assuming the worst out of them, or whatever it may be. But I think that, yeah, now I'm just repeating myself, so I'll stop.
Well, especially because like moms don't just play casual phone games like Candy Crush. Or
Exactly.
whatever.
Yes.
Moms play real games. Not that there's anything wrong with Candy Crush. I play a lot of mobile games, but they play other games, and they should have something to relate to as well.
Definitely. I would like to shout out Twitch. One good thing they did when they added all of these inclusive tags. They have a parent tag now. If everyone doesn't know,
Yes.
tag your streams if you're a parent. Do it, because I definitely go through that tag a lot, and sometimes I won't even necessarily like click on streams and watch, but I just scroll through and just look and just be like, wow, look at all these parents out here just living their best life. They're just like me, and it's just nice to see it. So Twitch put it there, so use it.
Do you have anything to add, Juju?
Quick shout out to your
I don't think so. I agree with everyone, especially with the streaming thing. Most people don't think moms should stream, which I think is really annoying, is how they think that we should be up our kids' asses 24/7 when that's not really how parenting is. Like, yes, parenting is a lot of work, but I do not need to be inside of my kid's ass every second of every day. That's why there's two parents, not one. I'm allowed some freedom, some time to myself, and a lot of people try to bash you, but you're the mother. You're the mom this, mom that. Okay, just because I'm the mom doesn't mean I can't have alone time. I can't stream because I'm a parent. Like, that makes no sense. So I really agree with everything everyone was saying, and especially the streaming part.
I have a follow-up question to like the last one that you guys were just talking about. So for mums that stream and people would criticize you guys having that hobby, having that streaming hobby, do you think it's the same sort of criticism or different to if you had an IRL hobby? Like, I know some people would go back to work and some people might judge a mum going back to work full time. Like, do you think it's different because like that's an office job or a desk job and this is you sitting at a computer and having fun and playing games? Is it different? Like, I don't know.
That's a really good point.
Yes.
That's a really good question. I think definitely yes. It's not viewed the same. Even like this hobby compared to my only other hobby right now, which is working out, not the same. Not viewed as equal at all by some people. So, obviously when I work out, it's still for me. It's because I want to do it, not because I feel pressure from anyone or anything, any outside factors. It's because I want to. It's a release for me. But people are like, yeah, go you. Like, you deserve that you time. Like, you getting back into shape, snap back your body, look like you did when you were 16 or whatever, which is just not how it works after you have kids. But then like, oh yeah, and also I stream or just don't even stream, just oh yeah, and also I play video games. Well, what happens when the baby cries? And what, are you just gonna let the baby sit there and cry? Yeah, definitely. I think it's very, very different. I don't think it's seen as like right. Yeah, literally. That's I just send them away. Pack a bag, go away. I think it's viewed as not equal at all because, do something for you, but not too much for you, right? Like, don't have too much fun because you're a mom, you can't have too much fun. So, I think that's a really, really.
I feel the same way. I was really nervous. Well, my sister's a stay-at-home mom, but I feel like nobody's said anything, but I feel like sometimes... So most of my family does not know that I stream. My closest friends do know, but when I've told some of my family, they're like really confused because I don't know if they even realized that I played video games. But everybody seems to assume that I'm talking about like being a cam girl. I'm like, that's not it whatsoever. Like, no, that's not it. No. And they're like, okay, well, what is it then? And, you just try to explain it to them, but they still don't get it. Like, why would you play video games? Like, you're an adult, blah, 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 blah. Cam girl. Yes, Zeb. Yes. My friend was really confused and I had to explain it to her. She was really nice about it, but she was like, is it like OnlyFans? I'm like, no, not even close. And that's like what Papa Paws said, like, streaming as a whole, I think to a lot of people does look really strange because I don't think they really understand it. Like, I myself didn't even know what streaming was until Wes told me about it. But yeah, I agree with you, Am. I think it's really, really different for moms. Like, we're not allowed to have that time. And I think just being a mom streamer and being new to it still, it's like, I feel myself like I am handling it pretty well, honestly. What do you think, Juju?
I honestly spaced out so much. Brain fart. What was the question?
We were talking about if we are viewed differently as moms that stream and game, as opposed to moms that go back to work after they have the baby.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. A lot of people like to view this as us ignoring our responsibilities as parents and not focusing on our children, that we are ignoring them, or that we're doing nothing around the house, that we're just sitting down playing video games, not cooking, not cleaning, when in reality most women can multitask. It is not that hard to multitask. We have mastered that skill. So I agree with everyone on that.
Exactly.
A follow-up question from Kiki's question too. So moms, and this goes to people that are two parents in a mom and a dad. I don't know why I put up multiple fingers. So why is it, and I don't really need to ask why because we know, but like if Spacey, for example, if you were the one working and you have your baby and now you go back to work and your husband, your partner, whoever is staying home streaming with the baby, why is that not even like, nobody would even blink at that? Nobody would even question that, you know? They wouldn't say, oh, you're streaming instead of taking care of your baby. So like I think that can kind of relate to women parents, moms. Like why is it looked down upon for you to just be going back to gaming, but if the father were to do that, it's not seen that way? Or even like going back to work, even if we take streaming out of it, when the dad goes back to work, which the dad probably didn't get any time off anyway, which is horrible. But when the mom goes back to work, it's like, how are you going back to work? Aren't you gonna miss your baby? But nobody asks the dad that. Wouldn't the dad be missing the baby too? Like,
exactly. Yeah. So Josh took a week off. So we went in, it was a Friday. So we went in on Friday and he took that next week off, and it hit us hard. Like, he didn't get paid time off. He didn't get anything. He doesn't get those kinds of benefits with what he has to do. And it hurt him. And I mean, just in the male stereotype conversation in general, like, they're not seen as emotional or anything like that, but it hurt him really bad. Like, it hurt his feelings, not like towards me obviously, but it hurt him really bad that he didn't get to see a lot of the stuff when the baby was new and all that stuff. And it was terrifying to me when he did go back to work, because I was a new parent too. And I was like, oh my God, I have to be alone. Like, this is scary. I think that men need paternal leave. And like, when you look into the different, I don't know if it's like laws or whatever, but I'm just going to say laws. When you look into the different laws of different countries and even just different states, men don't get shit. And I don't really have anything to say other than it's like bullshit. But I think that's really messed up, and that goes back to men don't have feelings, you know, and men aren't the real parents or whatever, you know.
right.
I'm using
And
quotations, but you guys can't see
work.
it. Yes.
If you're both full-time, if you both have a full-time job that, you know, obviously you stopped to give birth to your child, but then the father has to go right back to work or take his own time off, like, but why can't mom go back to work? Like, what if she's the one that's dying to go back to work, but she still has all this legally given time off? It doesn't make sense to me. And I know that, you know, it's not going to change probably for a long time. And it's been like that since the Dark Ages, because generally women did stay home and not go work. But it's like, why should a father not get to be with his baby at all? Not have any paid time? And I know a lot of people don't even get, you know, maternity leave either, but, you know, in certain ways, like, why doesn't the father get any time off to spend with his baby? And I think it's, you know, that's why we need feminism.
I think it's also a little messed up too when you, like, when I was working the first time I was pregnant, I was looking into maternity leave and stuff, and I think you got 12 weeks. That was in Washington though. I don't know how it is here, but I think you got 12 weeks off, and I'm like, I'm just over 12 weeks postpartum, and I still don't think I would, if I was going back to work, I don't think I would be ready right now. That's not nearly enough time. I think I heard something recently in a different country. Maybe it was the UK, Kiki. I don't know if you would know anything about that. But they get like a whole year off or something like that. I don't remember where it was that I heard about that. But I think women themselves also need more time off, because I'm finally feeling like myself. Like, my stomach is still all jacked from being pregnant. Like, I still don't look normal, you know what I mean? Like, and after becoming a mom, like, you don't look like your old self anyways. But yeah, anyways. Juju, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so. You guys literally nailed everything.
Can you, sorry, I'm gonna make you talk anyways. Can you talk a little bit about how Tom helps you out while you're gaming and stuff?
He'll usually stay with the baby, and try to keep her calm, but she's a mama's girl, so it kind of gets hard for him because she wants me like every second of every day. But he'll do the best. Like, he'll play with her. He'll take her to her room, like her playroom. That's what we call it. Or he'll push her around in the carriage to keep her calm and happy. He'll tickle her to make her laugh. He'll give her little cuddles so she can go to sleep.
And then Papa Paws asked what we would like to see. I lost it. In either Twitch or in the gaming world for women/mothers.
I'll let Kiki or Austin or Incantasia go first.
Okay. I think it's a good question. I hadn't really thought about it before today and like having these conversations. I think in gaming, I definitely want to see more representation, especially like speaking about how parents, mums, and like dads, single mums, they're not really represented. So I think that'd be really good to see. And in terms of Twitch, it would, like, if this would ever happen, but it would just be really nice to see people cutting other ladies some slack. Like, if people want to do their hot tub streams, let them do it. If they want to do ASMR with a horse's mask on, let them do it. If they want to play any games they want, let them do it. And like, stop judging people for doing whatever makes them happy, or
or money, whatever makes them money.
Whatever makes them money, they're doing it. Like, and people complaining aren't, so like, good for them. That's what I want to see.
I agree. Just more women in general, more different women, more different stories, new stories, you know, not the same thing over and over. Just letting people do what they want to do, as long as they aren't hurting anyone, as long as they are, you know, not hurting themselves. Just do what you want, and like, who cares, man? Who cares? Just, why do you care?
Tasia, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, sorry, I thought something was going on.
You're good.
So I was good. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that I want to see change, and I've touched on it a couple times just throughout, not necessarily the stream, but it's just the culture. Of course, it's the hardest thing to change, but just the culture around women in gaming, around mothers in gaming, around just everything. The fact that it is so much harder for a woman to game or to have a positive experience while streaming or whatever it may be, I think is ridiculous. And I would love to see, I don't know how to get there, and I'm not proposing some grand strategy, but a better acceptance of this shift, I guess, and having just more acceptance for women and for mothers doing what they enjoy, because I think that's the key, is that they're enjoying doing this, and we should support that, whether it's your thing or not. Like, it's their thing, and we should be supportive and helpful to each other, and not just bag on it because it's not your thing, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, nobody blinks an eye when a man says that he games, but it's weird for women, apparently, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Am, did you have anything you wanted to say?
No, I resonate a lot with what Kiki said. Like, deal when it was happening, like what like hot touch streams or ASMR or whatever. It was like really frustrating to see the discourse on Twitter and on TikTok of like, well, they shouldn't be doing that because Twitch is for video games. And it's like, okay, well, literally that's the most stupid reasoning I've ever heard for anything. So you should always, being stagnant is not a good thing. You want to be dynamic and be changing and be growing. And yeah, if someone's paying for it, someone's paying for that content, you go. Someone wants to see it, let them be. They're literally not hurting anybody. So yeah, just overall like more acceptance and a lot like with what Austin said as well. Like, who cares?
I
You do
completely
you, I'll
agree.
do me.
Yeah. Juju, did you have anything?
No, like I literally agree with everybody else. We just need more acceptance and for people to just let people do what makes them happy. And if they don't like it, leave. You know, you don't need to stay there.
There's plenty of other things on Twitch that you could watch if you don't. And even in our own communities, like I don't always like what my friends are playing. It doesn't mean I have to watch them. I can go somewhere else.
Exactly, yeah. So has streaming helped in other aspects outside of the streaming world? Zeb asked.
It has helped my confidence. Like I had a lot of social anxiety, which I had been working on before I started streaming. Like I couldn't order food at restaurants. I would have like panic attacks if my order was wrong at restaurants. It was mostly restaurants like that got me. But now I'm like, no, excuse me, my veggie burger has bacon on it. Can you please do it again? I'm really sorry, but I don't cry anymore. You know, I don't cry when that happens. My confidence and my ability to speak like better. Like I couldn't do public speaking at all. I would literally have such a bad panic attack that I would almost black out. But like in October, I gave a best man speech at my best friend's wedding. So like, and I'm not trying to be like Twitch did that, but like, I don't know if I could have done that without the confidence of speaking, because even though I'm not speaking to a person in front of me, I'm still speaking to people right here and they're listening and they're hearing what I'm saying and seeing my mannerisms. So it's not as scary as standing in front of humans, but it's still helped my confidence and my social anxiety of like being able to speak better. So I'm yes, that.
I'm almost the same exact way. I have I have PTSD. I've really struggled from things from growing up and really bad depression and really bad anxiety. And that's, like I said earlier, I say that all the time, but like I said earlier, talking about how I have to, for my mental health, stick to a schedule and everything. That's part of it. You know, I'm very susceptible to depression and everything, and that's not even to do with COVID. That's just in general. So a routine really helps. But yeah, I think streaming for me, at least, I'd never liked talking to people, and especially not public speaking, like you said, and also had a hard time with restaurants and things like that. Literally anything you can think of, I had a hard time with. And so just partially becoming an adult helped, but really just streaming to talk to people that I don't know and everything like that really helped. And like you said, like confidence and stuff has definitely gone up since I started streaming as well. I'll let you guys go next.
So I didn't, I grew into confidence in a different way. So I didn't have those experiences. I've always enjoyed public speaking and talking about my experiences. But it definitely helped me grow into myself more, if that makes sense. I think I am not necessarily the same person I was before I streamed on Twitch, but I'm more myself now than before, because I did recognize that it's okay to play video games. It's okay to like that stuff, and I found more people where it was normal to like those things. So more confident, but in myself in a different way. It makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Tasia, how about you?
I think for me, streaming has helped with my self-confidence and not necessarily the streaming aspect, but some of the relationships that I've had that I've met through streaming and through Twitch and whatnot. And my self-confidence and just confidence in general has improved a lot through my time on Twitch and through those relationships that I have outside of stream as well. So I've been really grateful for that.
Did you have anything to say, Kiki?
Yeah. So streaming helped get me through COVID, 100%. I don't know what the term is, but I'm an introvert, extrovert. So I'm more than happy to sit on my own. But I think if I had had to go 2 years without seeing anybody or talking to people or making new friends, I'd have gone crazy. Super might have broken up with me for her. So Twitch 100, and the friendships I've made 100% got me through COVID. But in terms of confidence, it might have gone the other way for me. I think Twitch, I don't dress the same that I used to before I started streaming because I'm very aware people might come in and judge me for some things. I definitely I do a lot of planning for my streams, and then I like overthink things, analyze my streams. So these are a lot of things that I think about now that I didn't before COVID, because I didn't have to think about it before COVID because I wasn't streaming and I wasn't assessing like myself and like stuff that I want to do. So it's difficult. At one point I was a course representative at my university, so I've never struggled with like speaking in front of people and things like that. But it's different for me when I turn on the camera. I'm very, I don't know what the words are, but I don't know. And even before, when I first started streaming, I would physically have panic attacks and crying before I would go live. And sometimes I don't cry anymore, but I still get the panic attacks before I go live. I still get really anxious about it. So it's different. But then there are other parts of it that, like after the Kiki Cup or doing something like that helps make me feel confident, and it makes me feel like bringing people together still makes me to feel good, and like that I'm doing something that I love doing. I don't know how to explain myself or how I'm feeling. I don't know, it's not that it's made me more confident, it's just in a different way, and if anything I'm less confident on stream than I was before I started streaming. I don't
Really
know.
Interesting.
I need to think about this more. Yes, Austin.
I just think that's super interesting because it's like the opposite, and it makes me
Yeah.
sad.
I think just because there is so like this is why as well I don't want people, like the thing I wish I could change would be people judging people, because I'm so aware that if I was to, I don't know, like some of the clothes I would wear before COVID, like I used to throw a lot of parties. I would wear, the last party I threw before COVID, I went out in like a mini skirt and one of the like lingerie bodices. And I would never wear that on Twitch because I know all the comments that I would get from that. So in like some sense, that has taken away some confidence for me because I wouldn't even think twice about it. And my IRL friends wouldn't even think twice about me wearing something like that. And it's just so normal. And like in London, it's just normal and I would go out like that. But on the internet, you're there to be criticized almost, which is what I don't like and why I try not to judge people.
Do you think it's because like the people that you watch streaming maybe don't dress like that? Is it because like, or is it specifically because like how you feel about yourself? I just find this super duper interesting that you feel that way.
I mean, it could be
I think
myself.
you're amazing.
I think you're amazing, Austin. It could be like how I think about myself as well. Because also with COVID, you're talking about hobbies. One of my best hobbies now is eating. So, you know, I definitely had to buy a whole new wardrobe a year into COVID, which definitely does play a part in it. And I do feel better about myself since I started doing squash and I've started working out again. But would I still wear something that I would wear off stream? I don't know. Ask me in 4 months when I've been to America and see what I show up in my suitcase with. Okay. What I'm wearing. I don't know.
How about you, Juju?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Twitch has really done much for me. Like, you know, I'm not out there very much, so I don't stream as often because, like I told you guys, I know I'm not gonna get far with it. I've always been myself regardless of other people's opinions. I really don't give a crap about how others view me or feel about me. Yeah, but I would admit I would not dress a specific way on Twitch because I don't need nobody telling me about my beer gut.
Yeah.
I already know I have one. So that I can agree with. I don't dress certain ways on Twitch because I know I'll be judged for it. And you will never catch me dead streaming in my PJs because I know I'm going to be crapped on.
Me in my jammies right now.
Yeah, same Austin. I literally have pajama pants on right now. Like, this is a pajama cardigan. Like,
That's awesome.
Well, and I think that's something that needs to change as well, is the fact that, you know, all these amazing women feel the need to dress a different way just because they're online, just because they're on Twitch. So because they know that they're going to receive that if they don't. And I think that's something that needs to change as well.
Yeah, and like a man probably wouldn't think twice about, which we've already spoken about, you know, us feeling that we have to look a certain way. But like a guy probably doesn't think about that at all. Like, and I'm sure some do, but you know, I think like it doesn't take me that long to get ready for my stream, but like I go and I make sure my makeup's good. But that's for me. Like I don't like what I look like without makeup, so it's not like I have to wear makeup for stream. I've whatever. But like I go check my makeup. I make sure my hair doesn't look horrible, which I'm a little lax with now. I make sure I'm like, okay, like I used to wear a lot more cover up on my face, like because I dig at my skin, and I still do it sometimes, but I was so bad with it, and I'm like, who cares? But I feel like a lot of, generally again speaking, men don't really think about that because people don't come into their streams and be like, wow, your hair looks really ugly, or oh, you look really fat. Like, well, they probably do get that, but like, you know, it's generally people don't go to a man's stream to talk about what he looks like, versus there are people that go to women's streams specifically to talk about what they look like.
I agree completely with Austin. I think it's really cool. Something that's really helped me, because I was the same way when I first started streaming. I would like foundation and then the whole shebang and powder and like setting spray, and like now I put on mascara and like colored my eyebrows in, and that's about as much as I'll do. Sometimes I don't even wear any makeup if it just doesn't happen. But it's given me the confidence to get to this point. Other women's streams and see them just wearing, I don't know, a t-shirt or whatever they're wearing, or no makeup, or just, I don't know. It's just brought me kind of back down to earth, gotten me out of my own head saying like, people probably really don't care about that, or like, look at this person. They certainly are just literally doing whatever they want to do. So why don't you do what you want to do? And like, you're still watching them and enjoying and consuming their content. So someone would probably watch and enjoy your content too, even if you didn't put foundation on that.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, whatever it is. So, yeah, So wear what you want to wear in your stream. It might make somebody's day. So
I have a question. This was like brought up like way in the beginning. Other girl gamers.
Mm-hmm.
Why are some of them dickheads when they see that there's another girl gamer? Why
they're
are they
projecting.
assholes?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of internalized misogyny. Like, I know when I've talked about this before, when I was like a late teenager, early 20s, like when I was in college, I hated girls for no reason. Like, if girls were like super orange tan with like black hair, like that
Yes.
Jersey store, you know, I hated them. For why? I hated slutty girls. I hated Halloween when girls would dress like a sexy cat. But like, why? It didn't affect me in the slightest. I don't know where it came from. I don't know who this girl was when I felt that way, but like now I'm like, why did you care? Because it didn't affect you in the slightest. I would call people sluts, I'd call people whores, not in like a fun way, you know, like when you call yourself a slut, but like in a mean way, in a derogatory way. And I don't know why I did that. And it's this internalized misogyny, because you hear it everywhere. You hear it in movies, in TV, from family members, from friends. So it's like in your brain, it's like, if you look like a slut, you're bad. Like,
Yeah.
and I have worked very hard to get out of that mentality, and now at this point in my life, I'm like, why did I ever feel that way? It was not beneficial to anybody. So, I mean, I think that's why people still have that. And there's still sometimes in the back of my head where I'm like, look a little slutty. And I'm like, Austin, maybe you should look a little slutty, you know? Like, it's internalized for no reason, and I think we have to work on it. And I always say, like, it's not about what you think that is most important, it's about like what you say out loud or type out loud, I guess. Like, I think we've all probably experienced that in a way, and some people still experience that, and you can translate it to gaming. Like, if you're a gamer girl, you're probably a slut, and you probably, I don't know, kissed a boy once. Like, so I think that's where it came from.
Definitely. I think there's also those females who are like, oh, like I don't have any girlfriends because they whatever, A, B, C, D, E, fill it in. And yeah, I definitely was that individual at one point in my life too, and like I don't get why girls I don't like pink. That was like a big part of my personality for a long time. Like, ew, pink. Like, I don't get that, and I still don't wear pink today. But that's cool. Like, it's just not me. It's totally fine for the females that do wear pink. I think it's good for you. I think you should keep doing it if that's what makes you happy. But yeah, I think it's just like projecting. Like, for me, it stemmed from a lot of like insecurity in myself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so it was like, you're in front of me, and and so you're the target. And yeah, like Austin said, you got to do on yourself and to get over that. And now, you know, I can see how hurtful that is and how that literally gets us nowhere and how that's just as harmful as anything else.
I think maybe it has something to do with the way that society as a whole kind of expects of women in general. It's like, I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to say hates, but it's like hates towards that kind of person because that's what society is telling us to do, and we don't look like that, you know? So it's like, well, I don't like you because you're skinnier than me, or, you know, you wear a lot of makeup, like a full face, you know, whatever, and I don't do that. So like, society's telling me I need to do that, and you do that, and I don't like that. I don't know if that was like a good example, but I think it might have something to do with that though. And I used to be really bad about it too, with my body image issues and stuff, and I would be very, very negative until actually it was Josh that like made me stop. He pointed it out. He's like, why are you so fucking negative all the time? And I'm like, I'm not negative, like I'm happy, blah blah blah. And he's like, no, like listen, you need to stop. And it took a lot of, like what Am said, deprogramming for me to get out of that. And I mean, like, when I'm gaming, I talk a lot of shit towards the people that, like, kill me or whatever in Apex, but I don't mean it, you know what I mean?
Why are we all so pretty and awesome and talented and cool?
Because of each other.
Aww.
You don't have to name names or anything, but, like, is there anybody that streams that you guys really look up to in terms of this is how I want to be on stream? Whether it doesn't have to be like about looks, but like just the way they present themselves on stream.
I don't have anybody like that. So I came to Twitch, my first introduction to the platform was me streaming. I didn't like watch anybody on Twitch before then. So I don't have anybody that I look up to right now. Right now I'm kind of just like in a running my own race, I guess. I like to go back and look at where I was because I've only been streaming for a year. So look back and go, you know, where did I start from a year ago, and where can I go from there. I guess there's more people that I know that I follow on TikTok than like on actual Twitch and like content creators, and I like to see what they're doing. Namaste Woken is one. She plays Call of Duty a lot. I've never played Call of Duty. I will never play Call of Duty. Not for me. That's not what fills my cup. But she does a lot of like female Call of Duty tourneys, and she hosts a lot of that. And I think just like fostering that kind of community is something that I guess I do look up to in that sense.
Is that like a big streamer? Like a big streamer.
I don't, big, like, I can't remember. Oh, she just applied for partner. So I don't know, like, what you consider big or not, but she has enough to where she can apply for partner.
Okay, yeah.
So to me, that's big.
Yeah, like that, I would
I
consider
don't
that
have that,
big.
though.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I watch any big streamers or non-quote big streamers. Like, I follow some, but I can't think of any that I look up to. But like, not to get all like sentimental, but I really look up to Kiki like a lot. I think sorry Kiki, don't listen. She's just grown so much, and she works super duper hard. Sorry Kiki, plug your ears.
Maybe
And-
Sensei.
And she's just she's so welcoming, and she's so fun. And like she kind of mentioned before, if assholes come into her chat, she doesn't automatically ban them, even though I always want to. But like, I'm very bad at that. I'm like, nope, I don't care, I don't want to talk to you. But like, Kiki's very good at like being welcoming and kind and hearing them out. And like, she's obviously changed people's minds because they come in and they're an asshole, and then they're like, oh, sorry. Like, and I think that's cool. And I don't do that. And maybe I need to get better about that. But I think that she's just so inclusive and kind, and she stop making that face, and she like the Kiki Cup is so much fun, and I don't play Apex, and like all of her events are super fun, and I just think that she does such a good job of including people and making her community like feel like a nice place to be. And like I don't know, I really look up to Kiki.
Thank you, Austin.
You're welcome.
I look up to you. So for me, my biggest influences are my friends, like Austin, Pizza, Chris, so many people that I could name. Everybody does such really cool things with their streams. I feel like I'm a part of a really creative group of friends, and I think I feed off your energy. I love stuff that you guys do. Austin is really good at like having deep conversations with people, and I wish I could do that more. I struggle to get my words out sometimes, and I want to be able to speak what's on my mind and like have these conversations with people that you do, Austin. Chris is super creative in his streams. I love everything that Chris does. Pizza is another one that's super welcoming. And I wish and like Gaming Morning Show, I want to take things like they all inspire me, and I could take things from different people. And I just try to be like them. I try to be as like kind and as welcoming and as open as all of those guys are. When I first started streaming, I didn't know about Twitch before Super got me into it. So the first person I watched was Ninja, and I realized that he was a really mean and toxic person. And I was like, I don't want to be like him, but I do really like Ninja. But that was my first experience, and I'm glad that now I have learned more about Twitch. I've found people that I feel are my people that I'm excited to watch, excited to hang out with, and they're the ones that inspire me. Yes.
Tasia, how about you?
Yeah, there's definitely several people that I looked up to. I'm part of a lot of different communities, and a lot of one thing that you can see the influence that. Sorry, I feel like I'm tripping over my words today. One thing that stands out to me that I've taken a lot of pages out of other people's books and whatnot is when I was setting up my Discord. Because I'm part of different communities and whatnot, I was able to see how everybody else sets up theirs, and be able to take different ideas and morph it into what felt right for me, and for the community that I was trying to set up. And so there's a lot of things that I take from other streamers as well. And while I may follow a lot of people, the streamers that get most of my attention are the ones that I look up to, and that I'm trying to figure out how I can best emulate whatever it is that I'm looking for in their stream, whether it's just how they interact with chat, how they foster an amazing community, how they how good they are at a game, although that's usually not what I'm in a stream for. It's usually for how they interact with people. And I love being able to see all these different perspectives and take whatever I can and morph it into whatever works for me. And so I'm always looking for opportunities to learn and grow. And so there are tons of people that I look up to and enjoy their content so that I can make myself a better content creator as well.
Is it my time? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I only have like 2 favorite streamers. One of them is Dashi. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's freaking hilarious. Like, he is so freaking funny. He's always screaming. He does, I think, mostly horror. And, you know, that's my drug. And then this other one, I don't really know his name too well, but I know he's a VR streamer. And he's just so fucking funny. And overall, they're a vibe. Like, everyone there acts like best friends and that they know each other. Like, they're overall funny. They're so comfortable with each other. They make sure each other's okay, and they brighten up everybody's mood. So I would love to be a streamer like that, you know, where I can keep positive energy, make everyone laugh, and make someone feel better. Yeah, I think that sums it up.
Yeah, I definitely look up to the different communities that I am in. You guys, especially. And I mean, I'm so grateful to Ham for bringing up inspiring this stream, honestly. But I never would have thought to do this on my own. But I looked at a lot of different people's streams, like people that, you know, Tasia suggested me to look at for things, and up to Austin and Chris and Kiki, all of you guys, because you guys have put things like this together before, and it was a really big help. But as far as streaming in general, it's the same thing. I look up to you guys tremendously. I love your energy and everything like that, and I think really, I really only watch a couple of bigger streamers, and they're both for Apex, and one of them I just watch for like strictly Apex really, but the other one, you guys might have heard of her before. Her name's Princess. I love her energy on stream, and I really look up to the way that she does some things and everything like that. So that's kind of who I look up. Zev had a question, asked if this conversation has inspired or reinforced any goals for us personally.
I just wanted to say that I'm gonna bow out now and go help my lovely, lovely husband with the kiddos as we get ready for dinner time at our house. So sorry for cutting off that question.
No, that's
Thank
okay.
you so much for organizing this, and I'm so happy that I got to meet y'all. Really eye-opening, and I'm glad that we were able to have this conversation, and it's reaffirmed me in a lot of how I feel about myself and streaming and everything, so it's been great. But yeah, thank y'all so much. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you for being
Nice
here.
Bye.
Bye.
I think that this has kind of solidified for me that we have awesome people in our community, and that we have people that are willing to listen, people that are willing to chat, people that are willing to better themselves and ask questions and learn more. I mean, we can all always be learning. You know, there's always something new for us to understand or to figure out, you know, whether it's something more like important or something that's just silly. And I think it's great that we can have conversations like this and be open and honest, and have the chat be open and honest with us too. And I think that that's just kind of inspiring me to, you know, that we're doing something right here, and that we have this great section of the internet that's fostering community and relationships between people that have a similar interest or similar interests. And I think that's just really awesome, and it's inspiring to me to know that we can all talk like this together without judgment or, not without criticism, because we always want to, if people think something needs to be criticized, we should talk about it. But I'm just inspired by us here and by the community every day. So I don't really remember what the question was.
I remember the question was. So, but well said, Austin. I am gonna take something from this. I'm gonna be way more mindful of the games I'm playing and making sure that I look for games that have more representation, and be aware of it as well. So before you'd said that Stardew has parents, that's not even something I would have thought about before. But now I think I am gonna be more mindful of what I'm playing and games that I want to play in the future.
You can be a parent in Stardew too.
I might kill my children by accident.
Well,
so
you
no.
can, you
No.
can, but you don't really parent them. You just have a baby one day randomly. And that's it.
I'll give it a go.
Tasia, how about you?
I think for me, probably more on the same line as Austin, is just that we have such an amazing group of people here, that I love that we've have had this conversation, and that it's been a safe space for all of us to share, our different opinions and be able to come together and talk about this that affects all of us as women, but also be able to, talk on somewhat of a hard subject for some people, and that there hasn't been, a negative reaction to this. It's been very kind and loving, and this is what I love to see, that we can have these, deep or hard conversations without judgment or hatred or anything like that even if somebody misspeaks or even just has a different opinion, that it's their opinion and we still respect that. And so I think just moving forward, continuing to be open and have those conversations, and making sure that we create those, or that I create the space to have those conversations as well, because I do enjoy having these challenging discussions and whatnot, and being able to talk on these subjects that don't often get talked on. So I've quite enjoyed this.
I agree with everyone. Sorry, Space.
Sorry.
Call me out real quick. Yep, go ahead. But yeah, I agree with everyone. Like, this is honestly amazing. I didn't expect this to go as smooth as it did. But I loved every subject that we were able to talk about, and how we all respected each other's opinions and was like, yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like, this is definitely an eye-opener. Open. Am I saying that right?
Mhm.
Oh my goodness gracious. Eye-opener? No, what the fudge nuggets? Whatever. It opened my eye sockets. Okay? Everybody is not a booty hole. I could not get that out in English. So, yeah, I'm gonna end it there before I make myself look slower.
Yeah, I think I feel closer to you guys now because, I do look up to your streams and everything like that. And so I appreciate you guys opening up and being completely honest and everything. And as far as like my actual stream goes, I would love to be open to more honest, deep real conversations, because I feel like there's nothing wrong with having fun. Obviously, that's what this is all about, really. But getting more into the serious side of things, because I joke around probably way too much. So I would love to just have more conversations with chat and everything like that in the future. Yeah, I think that's it.
Absolutely. And again, thank you, Spacey, for doing this and for having a space for us to be honest and open and talk and learn more about each other, learn more about chat.
Yeah.
I think great job.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you guys
Space.
for being here.